Hi everyone, welcome to this video, yoga wheel video that I'm going to do, that I'm also going to post in uh, the private group page which I've created for the yoga wheelers, I call it, right? So instead of thinking too much about it, of how you're going to start, so I suggest whenever I come to the mat with the wheel, I just like to identify with how I feel with my body today, right? Taking this neutral seated position will sort of like get you into feeling what are you dealing with physically. So if you were to just get on your mat, take a comfortable seated position, and lie down, place the wheel and lie down in a way that has friction at the back, so it stops you from rolling over, and then close your eyes. And as we are going to work more with the breath today, so let's just tune inwards and observe this wonderful rhythm of the breath, where you intend to inhale longer and you intend to exhale longer. Keep slowing down the breath and observe the state of your spine now. So make a quick observation to the spine from the top of the head all the way down towards your tailbone. And then check at every part of the spine. Make the observation whether you already know that you are experiencing some tightness, or you feel a little open now. Practice with the body that you have right now. So it's nice to take a moment to transition the mind so that we are more observant, we are more focused, we are more present. Remember that the wheel here is to provide us some support, as a tool of support, and not here to make the obstacles more difficult. We try in a way to go closer to our intention with all the support that we have. And today happens to be the wheel. So once you've done that, identify the position of the spine, identify how you feel in the mind, identify how you feel physically when you are in a neutral position. So whenever you feel the need to take a rest, come back to this position, or maybe come to your child's pose, right? That will do also. If you're ready, let's slowly open your eyes. And let's bend the knees up this way, bring your feet down onto the mat like that. So we are going to roll back and forward just to wake up the nervous system. So because we are going to do that, so I suggest you come right to the top of your mat, even if your feet have to go out of your mat. Right? So unless you have a very slippery floor, but I doubt it. So hands on the floor here. And then lift your buttocks up. First, take a moment to see where you are in terms of balancing. Are you equal? You feel equal to the left and the right side of the spine? If you are, then roll back. Slowly bring the head back. Just hang the head back and push with the feet. See if you can roll back all the way towards the floor. Keep your hands on the floor for balance, right? Now you can bend the knees, or you can let go of the legs by straighten them up. Just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Just feel how the spine is like on the wheel. Now once you've done that, then you come halfway. Do not lift your head up. Just take your hands to your head. So you pull your head up with your hands. Then you interlace your fingers behind your head. Bring your elbows closer to each other. Right? So that will really expand the muscle along the lines of your spine. Now don't drop the hips down, keep the hips up. So it requires you to to have a little bit of core work here. Now keeping the hips up, you roll forward, bring the wheel towards the space in between your shoulder blades or right at the base of your neck, right? Keep the head up, buttocks up, and then roll back along the spine, and then roll forward again. Let's do that a few times. Some of you may hear a little crackling and cracking. So if you do, it's okay. That's just the synovial fluids just popping up to create space. Go forward and up, forward. I have a relatively bigger wheel than usual, so generally the space of the surface is quite broad, right? So if you're pretty small, then this is not going to work out for you, right? Because it will go into the bones in the shoulder blades. Right, once you've done that, go all the way back, hang the head back, take the wheel towards your sacrum. Stay here, relax your arms, or you can also take your arms over the head if that feels good to do. Whatever feels good to do with your arms. Just hang out there for another breath. And then push away from the floor. Walk your feet forward, hang the head back. Have your hands onto your head and pull the head up and slowly sit down onto the mat. Right? Let's do that one more time and then we add another pose from there. So from here, lift the buttocks up. So just get the sense of how it's like, how the balance position is like. What you need to do to keep the balance feeling equal on the left and the right side of your body. Head back all the way. Then bending the knees. Right. So from here, you're going to chin to your chest. And then come your tippy toes, roll all the way back until the back of the neck is on the mat, right? And catch the wheel. See if you can raise the legs up. So this wheel, you need to pull it into the body with your hands, right? To create that stability in the spine, and then raise the legs up. So if you gotta raise the legs up, bend the knees first, and then straighten the legs up. But this wheel is being pressed back against your spine. Right. Now make sure that the shoulders are on the floor. Now stay there, push the hips away from the front. In other words, push the hips towards your face. And from there, bend the knees towards your forehead. Bend the feet over the head, feet touch the floor. And this wheel go a little bit higher towards that point in between your shoulder blades, or to a point where you feel a little bit of tension in the neck and the shoulders. Right, then you stop, pull the wheel back into the body, raise the legs out again. There. You can catch anywhere along the wheel, but pull the wheel into the spine. That forms the support, right? And point the toes slightly. And then from there, you're gonna bend the knees. We're gonna come back to the pose later, right? So bend the knees, and then slowly lower your lower back down to the mat. Feel how you are in the spine, right? And then see if you can take 1 foot at a time, count down. So the moment you touch the floor, and then you release your hands, palms facing up, and take your hands back, right? Don't turn your wrist, palm facing back. Don't change the position of the wrist. Fingers onto the floor. Push yourself away from the back, hang the head back, pause here, and then hands take the head, pull the head up, and take your rest here. Alright? Let's take a moment to pause here. Just cross your legs. So fold forward slowly and observe how it feels in the spine, in the lower back. Identify by now what feels good and what feels uncomfortable. Okay. Then slowly come up. So we're gonna keep the wheel in the back still. So come to again, turn to the neutral position. And then from there, you're gonna open your legs up wide. Right. And then reach your arms forward, sort of like rounding your back, pull the belly in, take the right arm over your left arm, and see if you can bind like so, right? So if you cannot bind, then eagle pose with the arms, and keep your hands together to your forehead like that. Your thumbs pressing into your forehead. Now then get ready to lean back. So if you think you're quite open, a little bit open now, bring the wheel a little bit lower towards the mid back, right? And then come back again. Here, reach up, pull the belly in, chest up, head back. There, or here, keep your thumbs, your forehead, and keep dropping the head back. Your thumbs can help to push your head back just a little bit. Be mindful of how you feel in the neck. If your head can reach the wheel, you can just rest the head there. Okay, lifting the rib cage, lifting your heart, draw the belly in. Now keep your head back, do not release your head up. Release your hands, take your hands to your head, pull your head up slowly, and exhale here. So when I pull my head up, see the back of the neck, right? I sort of like pull the skin up first and then head down. So that will instigate space along your cervical vertebrae. Let's do that on the other side. Find a moment to pause here first. And then reach out to the front, left arm on top. Here, all palms together. Pull the belly in, lift the rib cage up, and drop the head back slowly. Your hands follow the head back. There. So nice to feel that you can open a little bit more here, knowing that you are being supported in the spine. So the mind says that, okay, I'm being supported here, so let's see if I can open more without having the fear of pulling something at the back. But once you've done that, don't release your head, release your hands. Pull the back, the skin of the back of the head up with the fingers, and then come forward, exhale there. Okay. So now bring the feet together, hands on the floor, and then come up to scroll forward a bit. So come up to a point where you can send your hands back, fingers pointing back. Walk the fingers back. Right, until the wheel come right at the end of your tailbone. Right? Once you've done that, bring your left knee towards the chest. Right? And pull the belly in, suck in the belly, straighten that left leg up. Tiptoe on your right foot. And see if you can lift the right foot off the floor. Now bring the right knee towards your chest, left leg forward. Control it from the core. Right? Then left knee to the chest, right leg forward. So other side, pull the belly in, engage into the core, change slowly. Change again, slowly, and then change. Last change, right leg straighten, and both knees to the chest. Pull the knees to the chest and push up your wheel further forward as you bring the knees closer towards the chest. Slowly, hands still, pressing down to the floor. Stay here or work on straightening the legs up, the legs closer towards your face. Good. Once you've done that, working through the core, keep the core engaged throughout. Bend the knees again and pull your body back a little bit so the wheel come back to your tailbone. Bring your feet onto the floor one by one. Pause there. The walk, slide your hand through to the front, and slowly sit down onto the floor. Right. Head back, head forward, tilt the head to the right, tilt the head to the left. come back to center. Right, and then from there, you're gonna still working with the core, bring the hands to the front and roll the wheel back. So we're gonna take the feet onto the knees onto the floor, the feet onto the wheel, right? So the toes tuck under, and then press down to the shoulders, pull the shoulders back, pull the belly in. Yeah. You can point the toes also if you can't tuck the toes under, but you need to press your feet onto the wheel, right? The top of the feet onto the wheel. So pull the shoulders back, draw the belly in like a cat's pose, suck in the belly, and keep pushing away from the floor. Lift the knees up and roll the wheel back. Right. Center yourself here. Now, you can just stay here for maybe half a minute or even 10 seconds. The rest can do this. Pull the hips up and release the legs back. Again, pull the hips up, keep pushing away from the floor. Legs back. 2 more, 3 more. Pull. Legs back. Pull, don't give up. Legs back. 1 more time. Pull and legs back. Bring the feet forward, knees down to the floor. Feet down to the mat. Come to your child's pose. Head down. Good job, everyone. Alright, so we're going to take the wheel to the front now. Placing your chest onto the wheel. Bringing your hands like along the line at the back of your, this is the line at the back of the wheel. There, right? So your palm, the heel of your palms are on that line. Bend the elbows. So as you lean forward, imagine you're going to chaturanga, right? Lean forward, sucking the belly, right? Sucking the belly, lengthen the neck, pull the shoulders back, and take the legs back. There. The hands are open upwards a little bit, elbows into the body. Think of tucking the tailbone under. Draw your belly in. Now let's do this. Press into the floor. Feel that feeling. Observe that feeling of lifting the chest off the wheel. You don't have to go all the way here, but just make that effort to sort of like press into the floor, suck in the belly, and feel like you're moving away from the wheel, but without actually leaving the wheel. Shoulders back, neck long. So feel the intensity of your shoulders. Keep poised, boy. And slowly come down, knees on the mat. Sit back to child's pose with the wheel in front of you. Head down. Just take a moment here with your breath. Alright, sit up. Keep your wheel onto the front. Let's take your hands onto the wheel. Palms together. Keep rolling the wheel forward. But I like you to not lift your buttocks off your heels. So keep the buttocks sitting on your heels. And then extend your arms to the front. Keep the hands onto the wheel. See, my cat thinks I want to play with him. Oh God, can you just... And then bring the head down through that space between your arms. Just hang out here. Stay here for a bit longer, just allowing some tissues to release in the area of the shoulder joints and your upper back. To come up, press into the wheel, lift the head up, suck in the belly and pull back in and stay here. Right, let's turn your body to face the side. So it's still sitting on your heels. If you don't feel comfortable sitting on your heels, you can always sit on the floor, like cross your legs. We can do a side stretch here. So the idea here is the first few steps is to work with the core, which work with the flexibility of the joints, open up the joints in our body, and then working with the support of the whole entire body by working through the core. Just a few postures just now. You can add up more on your own if you have one. So let's take your right elbow down to the wheel and extend you may readjust the position of your buttocks, maybe sit in between your heel so that your hips can have that freedom to move and not just sticking onto the heel. Extend your right side there. Maybe if you can go further, go a little bit further till just the point of the elbow down onto the wheel. Right. So bring the elbow slightly forward of the wheel. And from there, rest the back of the head, not the side of the head, the back of the head onto that hand. So extending to the right side of the body. I take the left hand over the head and see if you can find the wheel on the other side. Otherwise, just hang over the head this way, right? Make sure you feel comfortable resting the elbow onto the wheel and the wheel is not shaky. Otherwise, fix that first. Open up the space in the heart. Lengthening left side of the body. You still want to sit down to the left buttock. And slowly release. Press into the wheel as you come up to center. Well, let's do that on the other side. So maybe I'll just show you from the back here because this guy's not going to move. So take the wheel on the left side so you can see my back, right? So see a different angle. So elbow on the left elbow onto the wheel, extend, extend. So sit in between your heels. Take the hand behind your head, look up. Have your right arm over the head. Dangle here or reach for the wheel. Maybe reach further. So open up the space to the right side of the body, the right rib cage. So feel that you also want to sit into your right buttock and you feel more length on the right side of the body. Good. Couple of breath there. And release, press into the wheel, come up center, exhale there. Right. Just the front. Let's sit onto the mat. Forward bend. A few choices here. Either you take one leg at a time, right leg there, or both legs together. Stay a bit longer if you take both legs together, right? Now if this is not working out for you, you're going to try and do this. So if you have really tight hips and the low back, so you're going to turn the wheel around this way, take the right foot into the wheel, but also take it where your calf has that capacity to press the wheel down, right? Not the heel, okay? And then because it's super tight in the spine, right? So here, see whether you can catch the wheel. So hold the wheel, the right leg is pressing the wheel down. You hold the wheel from the side. Take a breath, inhale into the chest. You exhale as you pull the wheel here, you bring the head to touch the wheel. Right? If that's working out for you, good. That's working out for you. But if that's working out for you, then you progress on doing this. Right foot into the wheel and then hold the wheel from the side there. Take a breath and inhale. Your right foot is pushing the wheel forward, but there's resistance with the hands. And as you exhale, bend the elbows to the side, bring your head to touch the wheel. You can do that with both feet also. So stay there for 5 to 10 breaths, but remember not to do this, right? It's so counterproductive when you start to round and pull the head towards the floor. So keep the integrity of the core and then work on bringing the belly towards your thigh before you move anything else, right? And when you want to move to if you move further into the pose, make sure you have kept that action of drawing the belly towards the thigh. that will really stimulate the hips and the lower back to open up, progress into a deeper pose. Okay. So once we've done that, come up in here, exhale there. So you're going to lie down this. Can you just move it over? Okay, then you're gonna lie down. So you lie down on the mat. Take the left foot into the wheel, hands under the rim of the wheel this way. So keep your right knee bent first to create support, and then you push your left thigh towards the front of the mat, grounding your left hip down towards the floor, right? So press it down. So you work on a little bit of alignment here, right? So you pull the wheel. There's a resistance between the wheel and the foot. There must be, so you cannot just hang it like that. So the hands are pulling down, but the foot is pushing forward. And then you feel that the head of your thigh bone, just like the hip there, is pressing down towards the floor. Okay, the belly tone. When you do that, you can feel this natural arch in the lower back coming along. Or you can straighten that right leg out. So take a few more breaths here. Right, soften the knee, pull the leg closer to you now, and then sucking the belly down. See if you can come back to the action of straightening the leg. Push the thigh towards the front, keep drawing the belly in. Now stay here. If this is okay for you, you can take more. Then you can take the wheel around the calf, hold the wheel here, pull the wheel here. Either you touch your head towards the wheel or take your head through inside the wheel and relax your arms down. Keep pushing your thigh towards the front, the thigh to the front. Draw the belly in. Take a couple more breaths here. And release the head out. Bring the wheel back to your foot. Hold the wheel from under the rim. Right hand on the floor. Turn the toes towards the left. External rotation of the thigh. And then slowly bring that wheel down on the floor. So keep resisting the wheel with your foot and your hand. Those of you can go deeper than this. You can hold the wheel with your right hand, but hold the top of the wheel like so. Hold the top, bring it close, open up your leg, right arm over the head. See whether you can do that. Right. So if I will show you this way, do that. Yeah. So your right arm is over the head, holding onto the wheel. Nice work. Alright. Release your head up. Use your left hand to push the wheel up to help you with your right hand. And then release. So I'm gonna do the right side now, but I'm gonna turn around so you can see my leg clearly. Okay. So from here you can take the right foot into the wheel. Right. Hold the wheel from under. Either you lift the left knee bend or straighten the left leg up. You may bend first. And then from there, pull the foot down first. Right? So you flex the toes, pull the foot down first. Pull the entire structure of your leg down towards the floor. And you can think of pushing your right thigh towards the front of your mat. Or to the back of the mat, as it seems. There. Alright. So feel the base, feel the top of your thigh bone is pressing down to the floor. Then if you're ready, pull it closer Pull it closer. Keep pushing the thigh forward. Stay there 5 to 10 breaths. Or if you are ready, if you think you can do the same on the other side, take the wheel around the calf. Hold the wheel on the side. Lift the head up. Send the head through. Chin up. Hands on the floor. And straighten the left leg if that's available, or just keep your left knee bent. Keep pushing the thigh forward. And once you've done that, release. Bring the wheel back to the foot. Right hand hold from under. This is the first variation, right? So you can keep the knee bent if it's too much on your hamstring. Otherwise, straighten the leg and open the leg out to the side. Rest the wheel onto the floor, right? So if on the floor, keep resisting the wheel with your hand and your foot. If you can go further, come up again. Use your left hand over the wheel, right hand onto the floor, and bring the leg closer to you, and then open your left arm over your head. If that's available, if you feel more very open today, right? Otherwise, let's come back to the first variation. Right. So to come up from this situation, your right hand help with the left hand. Your right hand is pulling the wheel up and take both feet onto the wheel. Bend the knees in butterfly position. Take the arms under the wheel and through, right up to your elbows, palms together. As you push the wheel forward and down, allow your knees to open out to the sides. Lift the head up. Pressing down to the lower back. Think of flattening your back down to the floor. And release. Do one more here. Really nice hip opening before you take out a lot of difficult postures, right? So your hands come through in between your legs. Hold the wheel from right at the back of your feet, right? Wheel there. Then use your hands to pull the wheel close to your head. And see if you can bring it over the head so that the head can come through. Tilt the head back and wriggle the shoulders under that wheel. You see, my wheel is big enough for it to land down to the floor, right? It feels so comfortable here. And then if you can go further, of course, you can take your arms around your back, maybe catch your fingers, but don't force it, right? Once you've done that, 5 to 10 breaths, no need, if you can catch your fingers, please soften the belly, right? Don't tighten it so much. Then from here, release your hands, go slow, hold the wheel, take the head out of the wheel, push the wheel up, and then bring back down again. And we come back to the last one we did before this. Arms together, lift the head up, and think of flattening your low back, just act as counter pose there. Nice. And release. Right. Release the wheel, feet apart, knees together, crown the knees with your wheel, hands by the side, and check in with the breath. For those who want to stop here, go ahead and stop here. Well, I'm going to continue with doing some extra work here, some back bend and arm balance and inversion. Right. For those who are resting, you can stop the video. The rest can join me. You move the wheel out of the way. Hug the knees to your chest. Rock the body side to side. roll over to the right side, pushing away from the floor. Okay, so let's take a look at this pose called the eagle onto the wheel, right? So it's a full eagle pose, so we go step by step. So sit forward. So remember how to find your neutral position first, there. And then hands on the floor. From here you're going to lift the buttocks up, walk the hands back, get the hands to the side. And then from here, you're going to drop your buttocks down. And then you're going to bring the feet closer together. Keep the head up. Buttocks sink down, right? Now take your second belly, take your right leg on top of your left. And then move your left foot a little bit to the right. Right? So you squeeze into the inner thighs, squeeze, and see if you can bind. Take the right foot behind your left calf. And then find a moment to pause here to check in how you feel in terms of balance in the spine. Right? If you're okay there, sink a little bit lower, but keep squeezing into the legs. Don't relax the leg, even though if you have the bind, right? The bind is an anchor to squeeze more into your inner thighs, and then take the head back. Hands still on the floor. Good. And then see if you can lift your fingers off the floor. Keep the head back. Right. If you can't, keep the hands on the floor, right? So if you can, then you can take your palms to your heart center. Slowly, but keep the legs squeezing into the inner thighs. Now from there, if you can, take the hands over the head slowly, look to the back of the mat, see if you can find the floor. Right. Pause there. If you can't find the floor, it's okay, just keep it here, or keep your hands back down to the floor. Now for those who can, if you can find super balance here, bring the elbows together towards your heart center, and then from there slowly cross your arms. Right? If you can bind, go ahead, take a bind. If you can't bind, don't worry about it. Extend the arms, go into an eagle pose. Yeah. You squeeze into the legs, the thighs, and then release the hands slowly. The arms by your side, quickly, hands by the side. And then you will rock forward a little bit. Good. Then rock back. Then you release your legs out, feet apart. Roll forward. Catch your head with your hands. Pull the skin of the back of the head up and forward chin to your chest. Nice. Let's go into the other side. Buttocks up. Roll back a little bit. As you roll back, hands on the floor here. And sink the buttocks down. Move the feet closer together. Suck in the belly, cross your left over right. Now then squeeze into the inner thighs. And see if you can bind. If you can't bind, it's okay, right? Maybe just here. Now maybe both feet onto the floor. Otherwise bind. Squeeze through your legs. And slowly, slowly, hands on the floor still, hand the head back. Alright, keep squeezing the legs. Hands on the floor. Hand to the heart center. Stay there, or right arm on top of your left arm. Squeeze into the thighs and release, hands on the floor. Forward, back, and release your legs up. Roll forward, catch your head with your hands, pull the head up. Pull the head up. Massage the back of the neck. Oof. Don't stay there for too long, right? And then release. Cross your legs, one foot in front of the other, and head down. So we're going to go into an inversion. I'm going to try and take you through headstand, and then from headstand to pincha mayurasana. So let's go to the wall. If you have, I hope you have a wall to find the wall there. Right. So go to the wall and bring your wheel pressing towards the wall, right? Then this can have to go a little bit here, yeah. Okay, oops. And then you're gonna take the 2 blocks with you, and let's measure the block first, right? So you sit against the wheel this way. Is the wheel. Yeah, so you can sit the buttocks back, right? Don't sit like this, don't measure like this. So sit against the wheel and then push your buttocks back a little bit. So allow the arch of the back to align with the wheel. Right? Then arch that. Legs out. Then you're gonna take the blocks under the feet, right? There. The 2 under the feet, yeah. And then release. Keep the blocks there. Okay. Then come up. Bring your feet onto the blocks. So the thumbs, base of the thumbs are pushing the wheel forward. Okay. So the thumbs are pushing to hold the 4 fingers, hold the wheel. And I like my little finger onto the floor, right? So for some reason I find it creates a better balance, but even just with the little finger onto the floor. So it allows you to keep the alignment observed, right? So when you go up, if your little finger is off the floor, then your hand can kind of like move a little bit here and there, right? There's no anchor, right? So this little finger creates a little anchor there onto the floor to prevent your hand from moving too much. So you press into the thumbs, and then tuck the chin to your chest. Make sure that the elbows are right under the shoulders or a little bit narrower. So because when you come up, the elbows can slide outwards. Okay, so from there, begin to, if I can just move this camera a little bit closer, maybe you can see me better. Yeah. Cool. All right. So the block. Oops. Feet onto the blocks. Push the wheel with your hands. Tuck the chin to your chest. Bring the head down to the floor. And then roll the head forward until the back of the neck is pressing against the wheel, right? Elbows in, lift, pressing down to the elbows. Lift the hips up, tuck the chin to the chest. Now this time around, you're going to pull the wheel into the back of your neck, the base of your neck. Bend the knees. See if you can lift up to the wall. Here. And then lift the buttocks off the wheel, pressing down to the elbow. So if you can do that, you can actually lift your head off the wall, off the floor. There. Alright? Feet down, feet onto the wall. Sink the back down to the wheel. Bend the knees. Keep pulling the wheel into your back. And then knees to your chest. Keep the belly in, so you lower 1 foot at a time. Push into the elbows and come down to your child's pose. So first, you are pushing the wheel into the wall, and then when the back of your neck press against the wheel, Then you hold the wheel. So from here, see from there, push into the wall. Then the back of your neck, or the base of your neck, your upper back, pressing into the wheel. Then you change the position of the hands. You hold it like this, right? Pull the wheel into the back. Right. I should show you one more time. Push first, elbows push, legs up, chin to your chest, press the back of the neck into the wheel. Now you change position of the hands. Pull the wheel into the body, pull the shoulders back, but your back is pressing against the wheel. Right? I usually take my feet on the floor, but some of you cannot lift up from here. So from there, knees in, and take the legs up, press into the elbows to lift the legs up. Or you can begin like me, walk the feet forward, and then from there, raise the leg up. But don't kick up, please, because your head is still on the floor, right? So don't kick up. So from there, you pull the wheel into the back, and then you bend the knee, raise the legs up, then press into the elbows as you lift the legs up. Good. Tuck the chin to the chest, pull the shoulders away from the floor, so you can lift your head off the floor. Right. Then bring the head back down. Okay, pressing down to your arms, your elbows, your shoulders. Let's release here. Feet onto the wall. Drop the hips down. Then bring the knees towards the chest, suck in the belly. Press into the elbows as you come off the pose. Arms by your side. Forehead onto the mat. And come up. Right. Yeah. So let's take a look at, after we take a look at unbalance, a simple one, crow pose. We've done this before. If you have another way of going to a crow pose, yeah, let's take it. Now I've come to a crow pose this way, I've come to a crow pose that way, I've come to a crow pose without the blocks, and also with the blocks, that's what I'm doing now. So take it back a little bit. And bring your feet onto the blocks. Right. And from there, come up, push back. Here, just sink into the hips. If you cannot squat, and just come up to here, or with the foot onto the floor, but the heel onto the wheel, right? Onto the block, and sit there, and then do that, right? That. Otherwise, sit back, or maybe perch onto the balls of your feet, and see if you can balance here. Keep the knees open, right? Rounding your back. Now you can work on opening the hips if you still feel a little tighter. By lying down just now, you open the legs out. That's all good for opening of the hip. If you have another way of opening the hip, carry on. So I'm going to move on here. So taking the squat there, bringing the feet forward a little bit, and then so the distance between your hands and the blocks, you got to engage yourself, right? So you got to play around with this pose a little bit. In other words. So fingers turn out, right? Elbows bend here, and then to lean forward. See if you can bring the knees pressing at the back of your arms. Right? Tiptoe on your feet. Pull the belly in, round the back. Don't arch your back this way, right? So just gaze down at the space in between your hands. Elbows in, belly in, round your back, suck in the belly, and climb onto the top of the wheel. Right? Keep pushing away from the floor. Don't feel tight in the neck. Suck in the belly. You see that the weight are
on top of your arms. If you can, lean forward a little bit more. It's going to lift the feet up, but you don't have to right here. If you release, come down and find your breath there. Alright. Or you can work this way, right? If that's not really working out for you, work on bringing your knees onto. Let's make everybody work this way, right? So you bring your knees onto the wheel, like so, right? It's good that we have the wall at the back, so you can rest your feet onto the wall, right? And then slowly bring your hands down to the floor, elbows in, round your back. Bring the hands a bit closer. Bend the elbows around your back, lean forward. It's going to lift the feet off the wall there. Or you can go closer towards the pose, but bring the knees slightly off center. Make sure you still have the friction there. Then bend the elbows to touch the wheel, round your back, feet off the floor, off the wall. Look forward. So don't extend the arms, your body like that. So pull the belly around your back, right? There. Press into the hands. Lean forward more until you feel the weight onto your arms. That's the only way we go closer towards the pose. And then come onto your hands. Bring the knees back to center. Right. Then come to the fingertips. Pull the belly in. Take your hands onto the wheel. And from there, see if you can just balance it for a moment. Draw the belly in. So work on not moving forward and back, side to side. So you know there's a blocks there stopping the wheel from rolling up. Maybe hands off. No hands, no hands. Alright, come down to the floor. Take the feet back onto the mat. Okay. Find a moment to pause there. Alright. Belly onto the wheel. You're gonna lean forward. Take the legs back. Remove the blocks away. Lean forward, come into your scorpion position. So you keep moving forward until, excuse me, until your chin go close to the floor, lifting the legs up, pressing into the belly. Raise the legs up. And release. Come down. Pause there. Alright, one more pause before we end the class. Take your peacock pose from here. Roll forward, hands there. Make space for the wheel to come through. Fingers turn sideways. Lean forward, elbows in, like next to the wheel. Draw the belly in and lift the feet up. Good. Take another breath here and release. So work towards the fingers pointing back. Right, make space for the wheel to come through. Draw the belly in to lift up and come down. Otherwise, you can also work on just here first, lifting the knees off the floor, big toes touching. See how that goes, right? And then come back down Take a rest here. Alright, straighten the legs out to the front. Let's take a twist. Left leg through. Keep your right leg straight or bend the knee this way. Open the knee out for 90 degrees. Use your left elbow to pull the wheel back. Chest up. Right hand, internal rotation. Internal, thumbs down. Send your arms back. So this is an anchor to keep pulling, to find that pivot, to allow your spine to lengthen first. Right hand behind and see if you can find the wheel. Right? Do it in. If you cannot find the wheels, okay. Right. Right. So if you can't find the wheel, guys, you just hold to the front, or just place your hands on the floor like so. So use your left hand use your left elbow as an anchor to pull the wheel back. Find a space to twist. Right, if you can, then you can reach the wheel from the space through, or if you then go further, you can always try catch the top of the wheel. Right. Today I can just switch it because my wheel is a bit bigger. Okay, if you can do that, then your left hand onto the right knee. Take a little more twist there. And release slowly. Take to the other side. Right it through. Left knee bend, or you can keep the left leg straight. In and turn the wheel to the side so that your buttock can sit a little bit onto the wheel. Right elbow, pull the wheel back. Chest up. Left hand behind you, take a twist. Stay here or reach for the wheel. If you can hold on to the wheel with the left hand, right hand onto your left knee. And let's take more twists here. And then once you've had enough here, so release the hands, take the wheel out. You can add on a little bit of side stretch if you wish, but I'm gonna finish this class with, remember I told you that we're gonna come back to the inversion the shoulder stand. You can also have a rest here, feet apart, wheel through, lie down, right? Or I'm gonna take you through an inversion before I finish this class. Okay, so we're going to roll back all the way back. Chin to the chest. Hold on to the wheel, wiggle the shoulders up, pull the wheel into the body. Like that. One knee to the chest. Straighten the other leg down. Change. Both legs up. Take both feet. Okay. Hold on to the ankles. Push the hips up. And release. Hold the wheel. You can drop the foot down as you did just now, or this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to move your wheel forward by using my feet and my hands to control. Hold the wheel here, push, push, until your feet are flat onto the wheel. Hold on to the wheel, lift the hips up, keep pushing the wheel forward, wiggle the shoulders under, press up, press up, press up, and lower your buttocks down. Alright, feet apart. Knees together. Hold on here, or you can also take a moment to hug your chest. Hug the knees to your chest, using the wheel or not. It's too big for me. That. Ooh, this is nice. And release, feet on the floor. Take the wheel through knees. Hands onto your belly, close your eyes. Make an observation to the spine, the quality of the breath, how you feel right now as opposed to before the class, with the joints, the spine. Let's take a few more moments to relax. So if you're ready to come up from this pose, remove the wheel, stretch out your legs, stretch out your arms over the head, give a good stretch there. And bend the knees to your chest, roll over to one side, and push away from the floor, and sit up. Alright, I'm going to say goodbye to you. I hope you have enjoyed that. If you have any feedback, please let me know. If you have any questions, also please let me know, and we can work through it. Or if you have something that you are dealing with that you want to use the wheel as a tool to help you pass certain obstacles, then let me know also, so we can take a look at that. And I'll see you again next week. Alright, bye bye.